What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the inaugural episode of Stream Kings. I'm here with my boy Danny D.
Yep. I've been personally really excited to do this. So thanks for having me on.
Absolutely. Well, you're not on. This is our podcast.
Oh, wait, well, yeah. I don't know.
You
I'm new to this. You're an old pro.
know, when he says old pro, he means I had my own podcast for like 7 months, and that's about it. So
7 months longer than I've had a podcast.
true. But you were on a few times, so we're
Correct.
we're looking forward to, like Daniel was saying, we're looking forward to doing this together, and yeah, going forward. So before we jump too far into the podcast, this is going to be a pretty basic one, just kind of talking a little bit about the pod and a brief intro and some stuff that we're excited about in the coming year. But yeah, just talk a little bit about ourselves. So I'll go first. Who am I? My name is Michael. Michael Adkisson. I'm just a dude. 30.
Who are you, Michael
Who
Adkisson?
am actually? When I wrote this down, I was like, "This is a tough question." I feel like I'm making a Hinge bio, but
You
I
should
have
think of
to
it that
choose.
way.
I honestly should. It needs more work, so here we are. So yeah, 31. I live in Orlando. Work for the mouse at Walt Disney World Resort at Animal Kingdom, where I get to, make some magic and make people happy. So, big hobbies, sports fanatic. Go Heat, repping some stuff right now. I don't know if you can see it in the video shot, but there's also a Boston Red Sox banner up there. So, but yeah, a couple big sports teams. Nerdy Magic the Gathering player as well, which I love getting my nerd on occasionally, and also big movie lover, which is why I'm here. So yeah, Danny D, what about you, bud?
Yeah, who am I? Who is Daniel indeed? So my name is Daniel Deschenes. I am in Tennessee. We Michael and I met each other actually at college here at Union University here in Jackson, Tennessee. Um, and we just became good friends. We just clicked, man. And ever since then, we've really bonded over sports, movies. I'm also obviously an avid movie lover. I wouldn't agree to do this. I used to. I just recently. I was doing
Share it.
freelance
Yeah,
stuff
bring
for
it out.
Collider, and I loved doing that. Like I really, really did. It wasn't much, but I just enjoyed the fact that I got to talk about movies. And the job that I have right now, and I guess where I'm at, just didn't allow me enough time to continue with that. So that's kind of a bummer. But I decided to get paid to talk about movies is how much I like them. So
Yeah, and if enough of you guys decide to watch this, we might get paid for Daniel to still watch and talk about movies. So we'll
correct.
see.
Correct.
We'll see. But yeah, so Daniel, how'd you get into movies? Again, we're both passionate about it. Like, how did you really start to get into them?
Um I I could point to a couple different movies, but I guess scenario wise is obviously, and this is not going to sound much different than a lot of kids or guys our age, but I grew up loving dinosaurs, right?
Hell yeah.
And so, I mean, to the point, where like I would go to school and I would just bring the little figurines with me or the big ones. It didn't matter. And then finally seeing Jurassic Park, right?
Mm,
I
yep.
don't even remember how old I was when I saw it. I couldn't see it for a while because people get eaten, whatever.
Whatever.
Uh, but I guess finally seeing them on a screen,
Sure.
whereas like before, like I'd just been sort of acting them out. It just like it blew my mind that like that could be done. Um, and I think keeping on the Steven Spielberg kick, I think the next movie I watched was like Jaws, and it just sort of went from there.
Yeah, some real bangers there for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Cool, cool, cool,
Yeah.
cool. Um, so for me, I kind of grew up a little bit. I kind of, I guess, like you. It took a while for me to get to something like that. I grew up a little more sheltered. I grew up on a lot of Hallmark, Lifetime movies, which I don't think we're going to be covering any of those on our podcast. Um, but one cool thing, like my granddad was always really big into movies, and whenever we were at his house, we get to watch something like Star Wars or Indiana Jones, or even the few times that we did get to go to the movies growing up. Like I think the first real big one, the first movie I remember seeing was Mouse Hunt, which was fine, um, not great. But the first like
I
one I
remember seeing that movie though.
yeah, the first one I loved though was Lord of the Rings and the Fellowship of the Ring, and that was just
Ah,
like, and I hadn't read the books or anything, so for me that was just like a total, like I was transformed, or not transformed, transported into like a totally different world,
mhm.
and that was just awesome. Like it was really really cool, and so I think that kind of started it. And just as I got older into college and things like that, kind of just met other people who were more into movies than me, who introduced me to different things, and I
Mhm.
really just really grew to love movies. So I think it's some fun stuff. So um real quick, what's a couple top genres for you?
Top genres. I mean, my number one is far and away horror.
What?
Yeah, I know. I know
Just
you.
kidding.
You particularly are shocked.
I'm so surprised.
But no, I love horror. Um, I guess it's the adrenaline rush,
Hmm.
and also being able to kind of, interact with stuff that feels dangerous in a way that's actually not very dangerous.
Yeah.
Like if what's happening on the screen is bad enough, I can leave. Um, so, um, and also I remember the first horror movie I saw in theaters was like Saw 3,
Hmm.
maybe, or the Hills Have Eyes remake. And I don't think we were old enough at the time, and so it just felt also like sneaky. And so that added
Doing something we're
something
not
to
supposed
it,
to do. Yeah.
yeah, it added something to it. So after that, I really like fantasy.
Hmm.
Lord of the Rings, obviously, is a big one
Hmm.
for me as well. And then historical fiction,
Okay.
you
Interesting.
know,
All right.
slash action. I don't know. It's tough. I just really enjoy movies,
Yeah. Yeah.
honestly.
Yeah. For sure.
But in those, horror stays pretty consistently at the top, but the other 3 to 5 can kind of
Interchangeable
alternate.
a little
Yeah.
bit. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. 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 I'm with you. Some of mine do fluctuate from time to time, but top three for me, the fantasy. Like I love a good Lord of the Rings movie. Um, and two for me is horror. Probably have you to thank a little bit for that, as well as just being in Orlando, like Halloween Horror Nights. There you go. You had a good impact on me, Dan. Look at that.
Yes.
And yeah, just being around Orlando and Halloween Horror Nights, and just kind of seeing like sometimes like movies come to life. I think
Hmm.
that's kind of what the theme parks here are about, is bringing those movies and all those experiences. And so for that reason, I've grown to really love horror. And then comedy, which I think like we're in a tough space right now with comedy, I think, but some
Right.
of those like late 2000s like Judd Apatow stuff was fantastic, like really really good. And so I love a good laugh. I like to make other people laugh, and I like to, yeah, and it's a fun time.
What's the first movie you remember seeing and like laugh so hard you cried?
Honestly, it was probably Monty Python and the Holy Grail,
Okay.
which
Okay.
yeah, which is
Hmm.
probably not like very really high on everybody else's list as far as comedies go, but that one just really really got me.
I don't know, man. That's a pretty good one.
Yeah, some good British humor.
Hmm.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. Ooh, you're wearing your Black Phone shirt.
I am
Speaking,
Halloween Horror Nights special, straight from
yes,
Orlando.
yeah, buddy. There you go. Very nice.
Hmm.
Very nice. Love that.
Yes. We also have. I'm not standing up, but the grabbers on there too.
Some tool for that.
Yeah, I'm down
You
until
worked
this
it.
is I just got off work. I'm down till we're done.
Awesome, awesome. So, well, thanks for sharing a little bit about that. Hopefully, our viewers and listeners enjoyed some of that. So our podcast, Stream Kings. So we kind of alluded to that a little bit in the intro there. I did a podcast for like 5 months or so. You Said It Best, Brother, which you can still listen to on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. However, there's not going to be anything new on there. I don't think so, you know. But if you want to hear Daniel and I talk about some things, or me and some other guys, there's some good stuff out there. Or if you want to know why you should think about the Roman Empire more, there's one of those too.
Oh
Um,
God.
I know that's so like what 4 months ago, 5 months ago,
Yeah. Trend is over.
whatever. It's fine. Um, but yeah, so Stream Kings. So wanted to do something a little bit more streamlined. I'm trying to think of something that I'm very passionate about and fun. And Daniel and I did several pods on that last podcast, and we've been friends for a long time. So we're like,
Mm-hmm.
we talk about movies all the time, anyways. So we might as well just like,
I mean, we talk about movies daily in
yeah,
some shape, form, or fashion. It's
yes,
just that's the truth.
part of the friendship. So
Correct.
we were like, what if we just did a podcast on it? So here we are. We're doing just that. The name inspired by a common genre that we enjoy. So if you're a fan of the horror genre, then you know the term Scream Queens. But I was like, what if we did Stream Kings? Oh, there it is. I'm wondering if the viewers can see the lasers that go off. We're gonna find out.
I sure hope so. I for
I
one
do
sure
too.
hope so.
I listen and watch to everything that I put out there, because I'm always just like, I just want to see how it is and critique it and do better. Um, but yeah, so what we are going to aim to do in the future, hopefully for a long time, is to talk about movies that you guys can find on streaming platforms. So I love going to theaters. Daniel
Yes.
also love, yeah, yeah, yeah.
The theater experience is really important to me. But I understand, entertainment's changed a lot, and
Yeah,
I as much as I enjoy it, I don't go as often as I used to. It's just
yeah.
easier to watch at home sometimes.
It is, and I think for people with families or
Right.
whatever, like a lot of people are going to, what can you find on Netflix or an HBO Max
Mm-hmm.
or whatever it is, right? So,
Mm-hmm.
our aim and goal is to find something that you may not have heard of, or that you may have heard of, but maybe we're going to talk about it a little bit differently. So, because we
Mm-hmm.
want to talk about the movies, we want to talk about how we feel about it. We also want to hand out some like different categories and different awards, and just kind of like break some stuff down. So, and have fun while doing it. So, and Daniel, I don't know, I'm putting you on the spot, but you said something the other day. And I don't remember exactly what it was, but about what our goal is for the folks.
I don't really remember.
It was
Oh,
like
I think we
given.
were talking about my top 10 lists
Mhm.
or whatever. Like I don't know. Like everybody likes a certain amount of movies, but um everybody's tastes are different, and everybody's view, like film is in and of itself like an art form,
Mhm.
right? And people look and view that across the board far and away differently. And part of what makes it so fun is just sort of, especially with like streaming services, is being able to dig around,
Mhm.
and then like maybe see a poster you like, pick it and go, and
Right.
then going onto the internet and being like, oh my gosh, like what did I just watch, and being able to interact with other people and hear different stuff. And
Yeah.
I mean, that's part of it. Like if we can help you find something maybe you've never heard of before, um, or talk about something differently that you've watched 1,000 times, like that, just
Yeah.
you know,
Absolutely.
I don't even know if that's what you're talking about,
It's
but
not, but I like what you said there. It was something
then what
along the
is it?
lines of like, oh, I want to bring people stuff that they don't know that they need, or something like that.
Oh yeah, yeah. You give it was the top 10 list. I just said it wrong. You give the people a little bit of what they want and a little bit of what they don't know that they need.
I like that. We should make that the bio for the podcast, but maybe we
Yeah,
could change that later. All right.
I guess
Cool.
it's
Cool.
the
Cool.
same thing though.
It
Digging
is.
around looking for stuff.
Yeah. So that's all I have kind of for like some intro and like who we are and what we're about. We did want to take a few minutes as well to talk about what we're excited about in the coming year. So more on the theatrical side, but some of it may be coming to streaming as well. You actually may have picked a direct to streaming. I did not. I chose some movies that I'm excited about in the theaters.
Mm-hmm.
So we both chose three that we just
Mm-hmm.
want to talk about super quick and introduce you guys to. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna flip the page here with my notes. You want to start us off?
Yeah, yeah. Um,
Don't be too enthusiastic about it though.
well, now I'm like self-conscious about the three that I picked.
All right, then I'll go
like,
first.
like, oh my gosh. So you go ahead.
Okay.
Mine may change.
All right, cool. So my number one that I'm excited about is Dune Chapter 2 or Part 2. This was one of my most anticipated of 2023, and then because of some of the strikes and everything that were going on last year, it was postponed. And I'm very excited. I was fooling myself when I got the book with the first movie, and I was like, oh yeah, by the time the second movie comes out, I'm gonna finish this book.
It's a rookie mistake.
Did not.
It's
Did
a
not
rookie
finish
mistake.
it. But the story is just so cool, and I can't wait to see it progress and just see a little bit more. I mean, the acting was great, cinematography, music, everything. So I'm very hyped for Dune Chapter 2.
Did you buy the Paul Atreides skin in Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3?
No, did you?
No, I didn't.
I thought you were going to.
No. I wanted the Sardaukar,
guy.
and they took it.
That's
They
right.
took it off.
It'll be back.
They were like, "What's the one Daniel wants the most? Get rid of it."
So did Daniel waffle back and forth for too long? Oh, we're gonna pull it.
That's very on brand. Which I guess you're getting a live glimpse of in my picking of movies.
Right.
So my first one, and I tried. I'm excited for Dune as well, but I also figured you would pick that. I'm trying to pick ones that I didn't think.
Sorry, I'm basic.
Pick. Yeah, well, I wouldn't say predictable. I think is more. It's more.
That's more graceful. I appreciate that.
Yeah. Let's see. So the first one that I picked, is Kong vs. Godzilla.
Ooh, yes. Okay.
Yeah. The New Empire, and that. I mean, I've always just been a big Godzilla fan. That's another thing that got me into movies too. Is I remember being able to go to like, I don't know why I remember this so vividly, like Sam's Club on Saturdays with my parents. And this is when they still had like VHS stuff too, and I had one up in my room, and you could get like a double pack of VHS. Like you can get more of everything at Sam's. It was like, let's give you extra VHS tapes in these packs too.
Right.
What can we make extra? Literally all of it. And it would come with like 2 Godzilla movies, like Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla or Godzilla Mothra, and
right.
I was like, this guy's like a dinosaur, but like way cooler.
And so and all kinds of stuff. Yeah.
And so while I really do like also like Godzilla -1, obviously, the MonsterVerse, the legendary MonsterVerse is a really fun, like campy popcorn movie feel, and I love it. I love all of them.
Sure.
And so I'm super excited for this one.
Were you team Kong or Godzilla in the last one?
I think you know the answer to that.
I do, but I'm asking for the listeners.
I was Godzilla.
Yeah.
Team Godzilla.
Yeah, I'm Team Kong, so I had to ask. But I am excited about this one to see them kind of team up and work together. I think that'll be really cool. So, but yeah, I love it. Great choice. My second one that I'm excited about is Civil War. It's an A24 movie that's coming out in. Is that the one you were going to choose?
I went out of my way to pick that one because I didn't think you were going to pick it.
I picked it. I am less predictable than you thought. Look at that.
That is, wow.
Yeah,
you're right.
Well, it also helps that I saw Iron Claw twice, and that was a preview for Iron Claw. So I was like, man, this looks good. So, and you may, if you were going to choose this, you actually may know more than me because I just kind of half-assed my research for it. But it's going to be their A24's most expensive project.
Hmm.
ever so far. So they're putting a lot of money into it. I love A24. Pretty much anything they put out, I watch because I just really enjoy what they're able to do. But
That's
you know,
basic.
Je-
That's
Jess,
basic. I'm a
Jesse
movie lover that loves everything A24 does.
I'm excited to see Kirsten Dunst back, Jesse Plemons. You know, really good cast. It looks like for the movie. And by the title, you know, it's Civil War. The trailer, you know, kind of it sounds like it's going to be pitting like California and Texas versus everybody else. Or I don't know. You may be able to speak to that a little bit better. But either way, it looks like a blast. It looks like it's going to be a lot of fun.
Normally, I would be able to contribute a little bit more, but for that one, I kind of wanted to go in as cold as
Hmm.
possible.
Yeah.
Because it feels like one of the ones where it's just I just want to experience it as it comes, not
Yeah.
necessarily be like, oh, I can't wait till this happens from the trailer.
Sure.
Um, okay, so second, and I tried not to be so on brand. I
Hmm.
did want to pick. There's a Mads Mikkelsen movie called Promised Land. I really wanted to pick, but I don't know enough about it to discuss it, so I didn't pick it.
Okay.
But I am excited for it. Furiosa
Okay.
is the next one I'm excited for.
Yeah.
Love the Mad Max films. Loved um, the latest one. Um, I don't know how many times I've watched it, but I thought it was just a really really well done action movie.
Yeah.
It's one of my and
100%.
it's one of my favorite genres. So,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
mm-hmm.
Absolutely. And that one was on my honorable mention, so you did not take my third choice. So yeah, yeah. But
Relief.
I am also excited about that movie. I am probably not as big of a fan as you,
Mm-hmm.
but I enjoyed it. I thought you know Tom Hardy did a good job. I'm excited about some of the new cast that are going to be coming in. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm with you. All right, my third choice. I'm going to choose the new Joker movie, Joker Folie et Deux. It's been a while since I've taken French. So, Miss Johnson, if you're listening to this podcast, I'm sorry.
Miss
She was my French
Johnson,
teacher.
he's
I know.
disgraced you
She would actually probably be expecting it because I butchered French on purpose in
on
class.
purpose.
Yeah, I was kind of a jerk sometimes.
Wow,
So
for a guy that watches Hallmark movies, you're not very nice.
I don't watch them anymore, so you know I grew out of
I'm
it.
a bad boy
Um,
now. I only watch
but
A24.
I just watch Uncut Gems on repeat. Um, so yeah, I'm excited about this one for sure. I love the first one. Joaquin Phoenix did a great job. So they're going to be taking him and just throwing Margot Robbie into it, who a fantastic actress. I love her. And I don't think we know a lot about the plot of this one either, but it's going to be the two of them together, and I love kind of the darker take of the. I mean, Joker's already a dark character, but I love kind of how they made him more of a complex character, kind of explained and gave us. We almost felt bad for him in the
Mm-hmm.
movie, I think, and it's be interesting to see how they add Harley Quinn into that. And I guess DC Universe isn't dead, which is exciting. Which
Right.
we kind of knew that, but I love this branch of the DC Universe, so I'm excited.
Who did you say was in there?
Oh, it's not Mario Robbie. It's oh my gosh. I'm an idiot. I even wrote it down. Lady Gaga. I'm a noob. Margot Robbie already played. Oh man.
Correct.
Oh well. But Lady Gaga, well, I'll talk about her a little bit. I think she's a slept on actress. I enjoyed her a lot in the um, oh my gosh, American Horror Story franchise. I watched a couple of those seasons with her. So yeah, yeah, yeah. So disregard what I said. Please forgive me for my ignorance.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
All right, you Dan. Last one.
Okay. Um, I am most excited for Nosferatu.
Okay.
I
I
think
thought you
that's
might choose that one.
I think that's probably my most anticipated, just because I I like the original, and I remember that being the first black and white movie that ever actually held my attention.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's also because I'm really into I don't know folklore and stuff like that. So I was like, you know, in.
Yeah.
But I also like the story behind the original,
Mm-hmm.
it being like a unauthorized Dracula
Yeah.
adaptation. But I also just really like Robert Eggers.
Mm-hmm.
I love The Lighthouse, The Witch, all that stuff. And I think he does really good um, tailoring his movie to like the period, making you feel like you're in that
Like the period piece and
period.
everything.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. He's really good, really
for
meticulous
sure.
about that. So I think it'll be cool to watch him do a movie like that. So,
Awesome. Yeah.
mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I think, this was hard to choose, I'm sure, for both of us. Like the list of movies this year is long. You got, I think, a couple other ones I had on my list. Wicked Part One. They're doing a Gladiator sequel, which is interesting. I love the first one. I like Ridley Scott, so I'm here for it. Deadpool, Inside Out 2. Like there's a lot of good stuff coming out. So
Yeah, Deadpool 3 and Alien Romulus were on my honorable
yes,
mentions.
as long as they make Alien Romulus good, which I liked the three that they did. Was it three? Prometheus, Alien Covenant. Was it
It's
just
just
two?
those two.
Just
Yeah.
two. So they kind of continue with that. I think it'll be good, but
Mm.
cautiously optimistic.
I understand the critique of those also, by the way. Tangent.
Yeah,
Not really a tangent. I understand the critique, but I didn't mind them.
I didn't either.
Particularly Prometheus.
Yeah, they were better than Alien 3 and 4 in my opinion. But I
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah.
Anyways, before because I guess we could talk about that for a little bit. So maybe that'll show up on a podcast at some point.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so that's really all that we've got today. Daniel, anything else you want to kind of say before we kind of sign off here?
No, not really. Other than I would love for anybody that listens to keep coming back. We're only going to get better. I mean, this is, square one. And regardless, though, we both really enjoyed talking about movies. And so we'd love to talk about them with you. So
Yeah,
keep tuning in.
absolutely. Yeah, please tune in. Find us on Instagram. Find us on YouTube, because this is our first shot at doing some video as well. So find us on YouTube as Stream Kings. That's what we're at. I think you got to throw some underscores on there after Stream and Kings in Instagram. But yeah, follow us on there. Please interact with us. Interact with us on Spotify, Apple, wherever. But yeah, please do come back, and we can't wait. I can speak for both of us there that we're both very excited and ready to talk more about movies. So
yeah.
all right, peace.
See ya.